Welcome, Color of Success podcast family. I'm your host, Dr. Stephanie J. Wong. Check out my memoir, Cancel the Filter, Realities of a Psychologist, Podcaster, and Working Mother of Color, where I share my experiences in the realm of mental health, both professionally and personally. Color of Success podcast is streaming on all your favorite platforms and socials. Whether you're on the go or comfy on the sofa, you can tune in at your own comfort. As you know, we love growing discussions with our guests from our AAPI and ethnic minority communities. With so many friends and experts from different aspects of life, we love learning their stories and understanding what their success means to them. Let's get into it. Lucy Liu is a master life coach helping women become unstuck, kiss overwhelm goodbye, cultivate rockstar confidence, seek clarity, reach new goals, and live an epic life by design. She is an unshakable optimist, wife, mother, easygoing entrepreneur, women empowerment workshop facilitator, motivational speaker, international bestselling author, and inspires as the host of her weekly podcast, The Lucy Liu Show. You can connect with her at lucyliucoaching@gmail.com or on social platforms, Miss Lucy Liu. Well, Lucy, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. It is a true honor to meet Lucy Liu and really talk about how your name, similar to the actress, has really helped you evolve as a person. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Stephanie. It's such an honor to be here. And I love talking about my story. It's because my story is that I have a name, same as the celebrity. And growing up, especially from Los Angeles, I get it all the time when I made restaurant reservations. And they're like, "Are you the Lucy Liu? Are you the Lucy Liu?" And I just felt like I disappointed people all my life by saying, "No, I'm not the Lucy Liu." So, I mean, this is for you if you've ever felt like you compared yourself to someone else and you felt less than, or if you've ever had a problem with your name or anything about you, right? I've met people who had problems with their names, like it's too short, it's too long, it's too hard to pronounce, it's too, it could be anything about your body, your physical appearance, or just, you know what? It's all stories we tell ourselves. It's all in our mind. What's hindering you? And I say this used to be my biggest hindrance. I was like, "Oh, you're not going to see another Beyonce out there in the world. You'll never meet another Angelina Jolie. So that just means I'm going to be nobody. She will always be the Lucy Liu, and I'm always just going to be nobody." So I lived really pretty much my 20s very much on autopilot. It was just like, waiting for my dying days, right? You work, yeah, it was just in survival mode. It was very, I guess, purposeless and unfulfilled. And I think nowadays when I get asked, "Lucy, like what epiphany did you have?" And I think back and I have to say that it was never a one single aha moment. It was never like something dramatic that happened that changed the course of my life. But it was really that me getting into personal development, making that decision to change my life and change my mindset. And it's little tiny aha moments of what I learned along the way that added up to where I am now, is transforming my life from a point of unhealthy, unfulfillment, unhappy, stressed out, to now really living a thriving life, what I call my epic life of full fulfillment, confidence, and everything I've ever dreamt of.
And I know a lot of people listening are feeling that, and I don't want to deny those that are struggling for basic needs like money on the table and all those things, because self-development can be a luxury in this day and age. But many people that listen to the show feel that on a daily basis, like, oh, I'm just slogging through my job, or I have to stay here because of the golden handcuffs. This is what my family expects of me. So walk me through that personal development period, because it obviously takes time to do that. So what did that look like for you?
Yeah, totally. I like that question because personal development takes time, but it can be expedited if you have guidance.
Hmm.
I had a mentor who really, I think the most important part instilled in my mindset that anything is possible, that there is always a solution. And I think because of that mindset, I am where I am today because we are human beings. As long as we are breathing and living, guess what? Life is going to throw us curveballs. Guess what? Things are going to come up, but these are facts, these are circumstances, and it's totally fair. Everyone gets them. There's not a single soul on earth that can get away with life throwing us curveballs, right? You know that saying where life throws us a lemon, go make some lemon juice. Another version I've heard is life throws you a lemon, make grape juice and let everyone wonder how you did it. You
Well,
see, the point
yeah.
is we're all thrown at with lemons, but what do you do with it? Right? Some people just go off complaining all day that they're given a lemon. But business owners, they make a lemonade stand, they do something about it because success loves action. Success loves fast action. And a lot of times we're lost. And when we're lost, we're seeking clarity. But clarity doesn't come with thinking about it, it comes with action because we are born with this skill called overthinking somehow. We're just naturally all really talented in this area called overthinking. And I've heard the phrase, I just spent an hour overthinking about how I've been overthinking lately. Right? It's a loop that we fall into. It's a trap that we can fall into if we don't have awareness to get out of it.
Yeah, and I tell my clients a lot that our brains and our bodies are really not catching up to the evolution of technology. And so that overthinking really happens because we're sitting in front of screens now. We're not getting afraid of like maybe a bear eating us. We're afraid of that performance evaluation, whether you're going to get the promotion, are you going to be able to, pay your bills and so forth. So I liked what you said because there's a lot of things there. There's managing your expectations about self and others. There's you can feelings are valid. You can be upset that you got a lemon, and now you have to think a little bit about what you're going to do if you don't want to feel that way anymore. And like you said, the lemonade stand and all that. With that as well, as entrepreneurs, we know it is a learning process. Like, are you setting your lemonade stand up in a neighborhood that, doesn't get much foot traffic? But I think that's part of that iterative process of learning from mistakes and being okay with saying, the worst that could happen is that I still had that lemon and I did nothing about it and wouldn't learn anything but rumination and continuing to spiral. So, talk to me about the evolution from hindrance to your name being one of your greatest strengths now.
Oh, I love this question because it's all about decision. And I'm really big on decisions now. How do you want to live your life? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to spend your time with?
Hmm.
Right? All these are decisions. And we make tons of decisions daily, and your decisions actually add up to your life. So if you want to be living a different type of life, you have to be making decisions that are aligned going that path that you're going. And of course, when we look at the mountaintop, we're looking at the mountaintop, you're at the base point. Sometimes we make a wrong turn along the way. But what's important is that we made a decision that we're going to go enjoy the walk and that even if it's a wrong turn, you're going to enjoy the view. So these are all decisions. And for me, I made a decision that my name is no longer my problem. It used to be. And I made a decision that I'm going to be a confident version, because confidence is learned. Everyone is born the same, really. But if you're telling yourself you're not confident, you're not going to be. If you decide that you're going to be that confident version of yourself, that's a decision, and it can be practiced. It's like a muscle, like a physical muscle you work out at the gym, but your mental muscle to be more resilient, to be more confident. What are you doing daily towards that goal? That's another decision for you to make. And for me, another decision, I decide to be an optimistic Lucy. So yes, there are bad days, right? Again, I get thrown with lemons, but because of my decision, it's a firm decision, then I'm able to get out of the funk in the most expedited way, because I know that's temporary. So like what you said earlier, some people, they're having trouble putting food on the table. Okay, if you believe that's temporary, you're going to be more open to opportunities to getting out of that funk. Whereas if you are having a more of a closed mindset or a limited mindset, that you're just in your current position, if you don't believe you can change it, if you don't believe that's temporary, that is the truth. That becomes your reality, because our limited beliefs will really define us. And some people call it the glass ceiling, right? At the glass ceiling, your top ceiling is self-imposed most of the time, because something you think is impossible, someone else has done it already.
So talk to me about that glass ceiling mentality, because I think, and this kind of leads into our next topic of um, amplifying voices of minorities, underrepresented groups. Many are in these companies and these situations where there is overt and covert racism or isms like sexism, etc. How do you think that folks in those situations can navigate them to where they do build up their self-confidence and can really thrive in the organization they choose to work for?
Yeah, I think, first of all, we are so lucky to be living in today's age, even though these isms still exist in some workplaces. At least today, there are a certain percentage of women or minorities in important positions in the world, whether that's corporate, politics, or thought leadership. But back in the days, 500 years ago, that wasn't possible. That wasn't even a choice. So I think it comes from, first of all, your gratitude of how far we have already come as minorities, as women, that we've already come so far. And then we have all these readily available resources that we didn't used to have. Right. So if we come from a place of gratitude, then we're able to really reflect on, are my current situation biases? Like, am I really being hit with isms, or is it a mindset problem? I think there's really a difference between the two, because sometimes people think, oh, this company is not for me. If I went to a different company, if my boss, blah, 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 I would be better off. When in reality, sometimes if you're not making those mindset shifts, you would end up having the same results no matter where you go. So I think, and that just goes with, just for example, like confidence. You have to differentiate between, is it technical or self-imposed, like mental? Technical, well, me and Stephanie were having this fun chat on Zoom. If I didn't know how to use Zoom, I would have no technical confidence, right? So if it was a new platform, new medium that you're not capable of using, you take a course, you get a coach, you learn about this new platform, then you get better at it. And the better you get at it, you have more confidence. Whereas if you have limiting blocks in your head, that's going to stop you on the inner work side, right? So a lot of times we have to reflect and have these awareness where your lack is coming from. But the lack is not in terms to give us like negative thoughts, but to see where we can do better at and how we can improve ourselves.
So, example would be, let's say a person comes to you and says, Lucy, I, I, I shifted my mindset, and honestly, these folks that look different than me, maybe majority culture, keep getting their promotions, keep getting, extra advantages in the workplace. How would you go and work with someone like that in that situation?
Yeah, so I think again we have to look at the situation. I actually had a client similar to your question. She came to me and she wanted more confidence in the workspace. And she was talking about how she worked with an office full of entire men, and she was the only Asian female. So obviously she didn't get the promotion and all that story. And so we worked on her confidence. We worked on her power to raise questions, to say no in the office, or just every area of her confidence. And once she finally felt confident enough, she realized that that wasn't even the problem. Like she has all along been so anxious and so depressed this whole year that she wasn't getting promoted. And in the end, she realized that once she really embodied that powerful version of her, she realized that she wanted to pivot, to make a pivot in life. She actually wanted to jump out of her company and start her own company. That is really what was behind the mindset that, she wasn't able to promote because she didn't even want to be there. There was a deeper reason. So I think it really depends on the situation, but I would say a confidence is a muscle that all of us need to practice on no matter what stage of life we are in, no matter what season of life we're in. We're going to embrace all the seasons, but it's really about finding yourself what truly aligns to you. And there's actually no right or wrong answer because it could be different for everyone. It's
Absolutely.
about finding out who you are, what you enjoy doing. Like I always say, she's like, well, what should I do? Well, it's not about what you should do or not. It's about what you enjoy doing and what you're good at. And when you mix the two, that's the magic formula, right? There's no certain answer. And no matter which guru you listen to in the world, I can say every guru is right for somebody, right? Because we as humans, we just align with different people or different environments or even during different seasons in our life. A woman can be very powerful, a career woman, and once they have kids, their values and priorities are going to shift. So it's totally okay to pivot. I mean, there's something called change management for a reason because in life, all of us go through changes.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about that because in my book, Cancel the Filter, I really think about what we're putting out there on social media does not capture the full reality of being a mompreneur and how our values shift. So I guess I wonder, to pull the curtain back, what are some of your Cancel the Filter moments where you're like, this is not what I expected at all in becoming an entrepreneur and really working with having a family.
When you said that, the first thing that came to mind was when I had a meeting with my girlfriend, and she said, "Oh, Lucy, you love taking pictures. I see so many beautiful pictures on your Instagram feed." I'm like, "No, girl, I do not like taking photos at all. But my husband just loves taking photo of me." So that actually used to bother me a lot. Like I actually got into arguments with my husband because he takes so many pictures of me and I don't want to. And he like makes me post them on social media to make him seem like a good photographer, right? So, and that to that, my girlfriend was like, "Oh wow, I didn't know that." She said, "That's such a good lesson in reminding me that, what's on social media is not reality." Um, but this talk actually led me to think how many people actually told me how lucky I am to have a husband who's willing to take photos for me. So it can go actually both ways. And I reflected on that. And so I now show more gratitude towards my husband for taking those photos for me. And eventually I became okay with that and I do enjoy it more. So I think social media has both pros and cons in that, but you want to take away the pros. You want to take away knowing that what's possible for others, it's possible for you. Like when you compare to others, don't think about the negatives, like, oh, she has that, I don't. But think about, well, she's doing that. I can too. Use it as empowerment, not to diminish your accomplishments. And I think that is what came to mind when you said that.
So walk me through your mental health journey and when you were slogged down in your job and you're just like, I'm going through the motions versus throughout the process, what changes happened in terms of your mental flexibility and your openness to opportunities?
Yeah, I think the first step is always awareness. Awareness of where problems are not working, what situations triggers you for a certain emotion. Like if you are trying to get rid of something in your life, have more awareness. What are you thinking? Right? What kind of thoughts are you thinking? Because when I say circumstances like these lemons that we're given, they're neutral. They're actually neither negative or positive. But your thoughts, what comes to mind for you, that's going to determine if the experience is positive or negative for you. So that's why when you have a more intentional awareness, then that's going to make a difference. You'll be like, oh, okay. Like my clients now, like something I've coached them through already, and something happens in life, they will refer to that. Oh, Lucy, this is what Lucy was talking about. Or this is when Lucy said, I should not say should, right? It's these language barriers, these tools that we've worked through. And it really comes down to the small habits that we're building every day. People talk about morning routines, people talk about evening routines. And again, I feel like there's no right or wrong answer. If mornings work better for you, that's great. Do your morning routine, or your evening routines work better for you, do that. But what's important is what you do as a habit to keep you grounded. Because when you're grounded, you are less distracted. You're focusing on your growth. You're not focusing on the negative circumstances, because whatever we focus on grows. So if you're focused on your problems, guess what? Your problems become bigger. But when you focus on your growth, well, then I'm going to have a growth mindset. I'm accepting new opportunities. I am accepting new doors. And sometimes the analogy I like to use, like sometimes we're just walking around, you're looking for that door, but you don't have the key. But when you're open to new opportunities, you're willing to try it. Hey, try it. Turn the knob. Maybe it's not even locked, right?
So, and that's a great way in terms of facilitating optimism, gratitude, awareness. And I think that is so important in this day and age, especially since you can find 100 things to focus on. And it could become bigger and bigger as you point out the 100 things that are going wrong in the world. But as you mentioned, there's a balance to it and what is actually going well, and we can move along our journey to grow. And so walk me through when a client comes to your door or, metaphorically, and really wants to work on themselves, where do you even begin to start exploring these kinds of things? Because I'm sure everyone comes in with different mindsets and you have to meet them where they are.
Yeah, I love meeting clients where they are. And I actually like it when they feel like life is, say, from a score of 1 to 10. If they feel life is really bad, the worse it gets, the more fun for me because the bigger transformation we're getting to see, right? If you feel life is at 8 out of 10, it's going to take a lot of work to get to 9 out of 10. But if you feel life is only a 2, life really sucks. Let me tell you, congratulations. It's all uphill from now, right?
That's great.
Yeah. So, don't be scared of the dark tunnels. You don't have a story to tell if you didn't have those dark times.
Absolutely.
Right? Every TEDx speaker had a story to tell, right? Every author have stories to tell. And that's inspiring. That's making impact in the world. So, anything negative in your life, just know that it's there for a reason and that it's only temporary. And then we go through mindset shifts. I think with coaching, the biggest difference is seeing the different perspectives or believing what's possible for you. Because as a coach, we believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And a good example of that is a client came to me for a decision between A and B. And I was like, well, what do you really want? She says, I want both A and B. So I was like, well, why not? And she didn't think it was possible. So that is a very big example of limiting belief, because if someone is not validating our ideas of what's possible, sometimes we're just stuck. We're stuck in what we believe to be true.
Absolutely. So, obviously you worked with many clients, and wondering where folks can learn more about your work, connect with you, even, you have in the background the Lucy Liu show. Tell us more about that.
Absolutely. So if you are now in your favorite podcast platform, hit the search button and look for the Lucy Liu Show. It's LucyLiu. It's a weekly, very short fueling station for your mind, business, and life. I interview amazing women for business topics and personal topics to help you live the most epic life and grow your business. And if you are on Instagram, come say hi at MSLucyLiu. That's Miss Lucy Liu. I love making new friends, so come say hello. And my website is at lucyliucoaching.com.
Thank you so much, Lucy, for spending your Friday with me. And you are just amazing and clearly living your epic life.
Thank you so much for having me, Stephanie. You are remarkable. And for every beautiful soul listening, know that more blessings are coming your way.
Thank you for listening. We would love for you to subscribe to the podcast and join our community on all our socials at colorsuccesspodcast.com. Looking forward to you checking out my memoir, Cancel the Filter: Realities of a Psychologist, Podcaster, and Working Mother of Color on Amazon and wherever books are sold. I'd love to hear your Cancel the Filter moments.